What's going on, you guys? In this video today, I am going to be doing a full behind the scenes raw retouching walkthrough, I guess you guys can say, of a few images I took at my lighting class. Well, I recorded some lighting YouTube videos, and I know that it's important that you guys also know that I'm teaching you guys how to light. So in this video today, I'm going to be walking through my retouching process when it comes to retouching portraits, editing them, colors, and all that type of stuff. And we're just gonna have a full no edits, no cuts. I'm just gonna give you the raw game, and we're gonna go from there. So first thing to note is that I am editing the raw file. I mentioned in one of my YouTube videos that the raw file, I look at raw and JPEG like a rubber band. A raw file, a JPEG file is like a small rubber band. If you pull it at a certain point, it's gonna snap. But a raw file is like a big rubber band. If you keep stretching, it's gonna go so much farther than a smaller rubber band, and then it's eventually gonna snap. Well, I tell you that because when I am editing, color grading and editing portraits, I like to have as much control as possible, which is why I use a raw file. A raw file has more data than a JPEG file. I send the JPEGs over to the client, but the raw file has more data, and I edit using the raw file. Okay. So I am currently using Evoto AI. You probably saw my YouTube channel. I have plenty of videos going over back as a photographer again. I discovered this software and it's been changing the game for me. So I don't even go into Photoshop anymore. I haven't even downloaded the app since I've been back the last 78 days. But I'm currently using Evoto AI. So when you get to Evoto AI, it looks something like this right here. And I created a project basically where you see it has YouTube content that you can other photos I have to retouch. You might have saw the previous video as well where we retouched that one together, but just some more content we have to retouch. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to start with this picture. So anytime that I'm retouching, I go through 4 different steps. Number 1 is I prep the skin. Sorry, actually number 1 now is I color grade. Number 2 is I prep the skin. Number 3 is I retouch the skin. Number 4 is I polish the skin, polish the image. And then number 5 is I export and deliver. So about 5 steps: color grade, prep the skin, color grade, prep the skin, retouch the skin, polish the image. So clean up polish the skin and also polish the image, like the background, fill the background and all that stuff in, clean up the background floor and all that type of stuff. And then from there, we export and save. All right. So when you get inside of Evoto, this is not an Evoto course, but I'm just practicing explaining more because I do want to come out with a full Evoto course. When you get inside of Evoto, you'll see library and edit. So I'm going to come to edit. And on the right hand side, you are going to have this thing called color adjustments right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and click color adjustments. Now, I did this in the last video, but I showed you guys where I had already created presets. So basically what you can do inside Evoto is you could edit the image how you like it, save the way you edit it and like a file, and then you can deliver that file to others. Or I'm sorry, you can deliver that file to others. That's what I plan to do with you guys today. But you also can save it and apply it to other images. I'm gonna show you that in a second, but I already have some color grades right here. So I got this color grade right here. Let me show you. And you see, I did this on these images down here, but you see what happens when I put that color grade on there, and then you can intensify it or not use it at all. Okay. For this demonstration purpose, I'm not going to do that because I want it to be a raw, full editing video. But the cool thing is once I edit this one image, I can copy and paste this and apply the colors to all the other images. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this image. So first thing I want to come down and do is I want to kind of play with my white balance a little bit. So I like how warm this photo is. That was very intentional. It's giving this sunset vibe. And honestly, how I learned to do this is I literally used to just do like this, and I would find out what I really like, what was my style. And for this image, what I'm looking at is that I don't want the image to be too orange. So since I don't want the image to be too orange, I'm gonna take away some of that orangeness of the image, so you can give that cool, crisp white. I mean, you barely can see the difference, one image is going to be warmer than the other. Like this is definitely warm right there. I don't really want the, see the difference? I don't really want the warm look because it's going to start making my client look too, or my model look too orange. So I'm going to just tone it down a little bit and give that nice bright look. Actually, I am going to put a little bit of orange in there, just a little bit. So I'm at 628. And then you have the tint. So this is going to make the photos greener or more purple. I am just going to keep this one at exactly what it was. It was at 11. Now, as you see, this photo is pretty exposed well. So I'm not going to do nothing to the exposure. I am going to add some contrast. So typically when I first start off, one of my earlier mentors told me that the contrast should be 25. I don't know why, but still to this day, I put it at 25. And as you see the difference, it looks like it kind of makes the hair blacker, the skin tone a little bit more saturated. But I don't really like that look. So I'm going to come down to about 15. Yes. So I'm really looking for my hair to get blacker, stuff like that. So I like that 15 look right there. And then let's see what happens when I turn down the brightness. So the brightness, we'll keep the brightness. Let's see what happens when I turn down the highlights. Highlights is going to be like these super white areas, like right here, her face and stuff. So let's see what happens when I turn down the highlights. About negative 25. I don't want them to be too hot. Let's see. Before, after, before, after. It's a slight difference. Nothing too much. Slight difference. And I'm actually going to turn my Kelvin down some more because as I'm looking at this image, I kind of like that more bluish look is given. So I just heated it up just a little bit. I mean, you kind of see it's heated up just a little. This is before. This is after. And also in Evoto, you can just hit before and after. And you guys can kind of see that different look. I do have a code below where you guys can get some free credits as like affiliate link or something. I honestly don't know how many credits it goes by, but I do have affiliate code. You get some free credits. And then if you use my code, they're going to give me some free credits as well. But I also include, once I edit this like picture of her, I'll also include the preset for you guys to have. All you have to do is just DM me, Evoto sign up, show me proof that you use my link, and I'll DM you this preset so you can have it as well. And you can just click a button and it edits. Okay. So that's pretty good right there. Let's see what happens if I bump up the shadows. That's going to take the shadows away. Let's see if I darken them. I don't really like that dark look because I want it to kind of stay bright. I want it to kind of stay bright. Negative 10. Okay, I like that. Not too bright. So this is the original. This is the version I have right now. I think we're already starting to look better because in this version over here, her face looks more washed out. In this version, her hair looks richer and different things like that. So we're going to keep that. I even like the highlights on her hair as well. So let's go down and let's add some. We don't need to add any of these, but let me show you guys what happens when you do. It gives that look, that HDR. Y'all remember Camera 360? They kind of like HDR look. I don't really want the HDR look, and I'm just showing y'all this. I'm not going to do this at all, but that's the look. I don't want to touch the vibrance and saturation, so I'm going to do that in my curves layer. Sorry, my color grading layer. But as you guys see, that's it. Okay, so now this is where I kind of like to have fun and where I believe your style is honestly developed is when you start playing with color grading. So in this color grading layer, I found that the midtones are most likely going to be the skin color. The shadows are going to be the shadows, and then the highlights are going to be the highlighted areas. So I want to go more for this warm summer look. So I'm going to take this blue, and I always make this nozzle. I put this nozzle up. I'm gonna put it at 10. Okay, and I put that nozzle up at 10 because this is like the saturation, which is basically like, let me show you. See what happens to the shadows when I turn it all the way up? It makes my shadows blue. I'm just gonna put it at 10 right now. And honestly, you guys, I shouldn't probably be telling you this, but I since I don't have an intent of like the picture I'm going for, I usually just do like this until I find something that I like. And I like this because it's giving that summer mood. And I guess I do have an intent. I'm going for like summertime type vibe. So you see what happened when I turn it all the way up. And you can kind of see what it's affecting. It's affecting her hair, the shadows on the background, all those different things. And let me just see what happens if I blew it to the red, the purple. You kind of see that purple tint. Sometimes I like having that purple tint in my images. There's something about it, like right here. But I think for this image, I want to go more summertime. And of course, like, yo, we can go into color theory and all those different things. Let's just turn this off. You can turn it off by hitting here. See the difference? Before, after, before, after. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Before, after, before, after. It adds that warm tone to the picture. And I am going for that summertime vibe. And then let's play with the highlights. So my highlights, which are going to be this area, this white area that's super bright, her clothes, here, 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 and the highlights on her lips. My highlights, I do want to keep them relatively cool because if I make my shadows warm and my highlights warm, it's going to kind of change her skin tone a little bit. And I don't want to do that for this go around. So I'm going to take this up, the saturation up, see what happens to it like that. Take the saturation up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my nozzle. This is the warm side. I'm going to take my nozzle all the way over to the cool side. And you guys see what happens? I hope you guys can see how it cools as I go around her. Do it again. See the differences. That purplish vibe in the highlights. You got the yellowish vibe in the highlights. The greenish vibe in the highlights. I don't want the green vibe. I want that cool vibe in my highlights. And just learned today from Lindsay Aller that this is going to be a complementary color to the orange. Let me turn my camera off because my video is going to start moving slow. This is going to be a complementary color to orange. Blue is right here. And then on the opposite wheel, which is going to be complementary, is that over there. Look at the difference. I love the color difference on this photo already. Look at that. Okay. So now that I did that, we got the skin tone. And see what happened when I boost up. See how her skin tone really looks different? I don't want to do that to her skin tone. And I kind of already like how the skin tone is. If I was to add a little tad bit touch, we can go to 10 again. You can already see, kind of see how orange she is. So I actually want to not make her still orange. So I'm going to come over to the blue side. And that also lightens her skin color. Lightens her skin color. So I don't want her skin color to be too light. I kind of like that orangey. So I'm going to give her a little bit more, what you may say, saturation to her skin color. Yes, now her skin is looking really good. The only change I'm going to make is I am going to turn the saturation down. Now, you guys, we're only scratching the surface of what we can do because I can come in this photo and I can mask and I can only change the skin tone of her body color and stuff like that. But even look at the difference on the before and the after. The photo looks more richer. The color is there, and I love the color. I love the color. See how we take the blending all the way down. Let's see how we take the blending all the way up. Yeah, I really love the color. I love how this looks. Okay. So now that we did that, I'm just gonna come and I am going to sharpen it a little bit. Let's see what this balance do. I never played around with this feature. Balance at 0. I don't know what this feature does, but I'm honestly liking how it's making my image look. This is without the colors. This is with the color adjustments. Without the color adjustments, with the color adjustments. Sorry. Let's see what happens when we take down the blending. Back to 50. Okay. And man, we can go on and on. I'm going to add a little bit of sharpness to it. I'm not going to play around with the grain today because I don't want that grainy effect. I want to keep everything pretty sharp. But now that I've done the retouch, the color grading, the next thing I'm going to do is the retouch. So to do the retouch, you come right in here and you can just hit R on your keyboard or hit portrait retouching. And now we are going to clean up her skin. Okay. So the first thing, I used to teach a course called the Certified Retoucher course, and it's going to be included in the School of Light that's getting ready to drop soon, my community. And something I used to do was I used to prep the skin first. So you can see right here, it has blemish removal. Blemish removal is going to be the first way to prep the skin. Since the skin is not sharp in this photo, you won't, this is not a beauty retouching. You won't really see from wide away. But we're going to go ahead and so what I like to do is kind of play around with it. So this filter controls call it the overall everything, like the overall. But let's say if I'm like, no, I want to keep her freckles, I could turn this all the way down and it'll show her freckles. And this AI picked these little dots up as freckles. They're not freckles, but it kind of like picked it up. And then I'm like, no, I want to kind of keep some of her acne. It'll pick that up as well. But so I am going to turn the acne all the way up. And I like how you see how this right here, if I turn this down, I like this texture on her face. So I'm actually going to keep that texture on her face right there. Then we can got the dark circles. So let's just see what happens if I turn this all the way up. It takes the dark circles out, but I like this to have the image look a little bit realistic. You see right there. Then eye bags. She doesn't really have eye bags right here at all. So we can keep that one off. We have no glasses glare, no lip wrinkles and flakes. She has no double chin, but it's crazy. You can turn this up. I had a client who was like, I don't like my chin. And the AI app was able to literally fix her chin, but my client doesn't have a double chin. As you can see, so there's nothing to fix, so we turn that down. Then you have forehead wrinkles. As you guys see, there are no forehead wrinkles on my client, my model. So we can take that down. 11 lines. She has no eye wrinkles. Like up here, I like to keep my edits as natural as possible. No smile lines or anything. And if I had a model that did have smile lines, I would take them out. Well, she didn't have anything. No cheek wrinkles, no more Marianne lines, none of that. Like my model pretty much looks very, very, very nice. And then you can do the same thing for body blemishes. So she's really fully covered. So I really don't have to touch this. I mean, look at the difference in the image already. I really don't have to touch that. No neck wrinkles. I mean, I don't have to touch any of that because she's already pretty good. So now that we prep the skin, what we want to go ahead and do is we want to go ahead and retouch the skin. So as you guys know, you have dodge and burn. Dodge burn is where you make the transition between the light part and the dark parts flow smoothly. So it's just crazy to me that in my certified retouchers course, I used to teach how to dodge and burn, and it would take 4 to 6 hours, sometimes days, one photo. But now, literally, Evoto has made it so easy, y'all. And I'm not sponsored at all by them. I got an affiliate link because it was automatic thing I could sign up for to get you some free credits and get me some too. But literally, look at this. I could turn this feature up and look at what happens to her skin. Look how nice and smooth her skin is now. The transitions between like right here, look at right here, and then look at right there now. Sometimes I'll turn this down to kind of keep some level of realism or like texture, but this did a good job, so I can turn this all the way up. And then you have scope, dodge, and burn. So back in the day in Photoshop, you would do micro dodge and burn and global dodge and burn. Micro dodge and burn would be like for those little transitions. Then global dodge and burn would be to like define the cheekbones, the nose, and all those different things. So scoped is that global dodge and burn. So you see what happens when I turn scope all the way up, and it does all the way around here. It gets in right there. You can kind of see the difference. After, before. I don't know why I keep showing y'all the before and after when the before and after is right here. And then you can play around with it. Like, do you want to show more facial features? And as you see, once again, we used to have to do this with the global dodge and burn to make this facial feature show, make that facial feature show, make the cheekbone show. But now we just turn up a slider, you guys, which is crazy to me. And same thing for facial contour. I can turn it all the way down. Y'all see that it goes away. If I turn it up, you see it pops back and gives that face contour. And let's just zoom out a little bit too. I mean, look at the difference. It's so nice. So now that we did that, and you can still kind of see the skin texture and everything, the next thing we would do when we retouch the skin is we would do frequency separation. And frequency separation is another tool you can use to make the transition from light to dark smoother. So let me kind of show you guys, and mainly pay attention to right here. All right, I got my daughter with me on daddy duty. So this is a raw BTS. I told you I wasn't editing nothing. So look right here, right? See this spot right here? And you see, kind of see, like you can tell the difference between there and there. If I turn up the frequency separation all the way, what that's going to do is going to smoothen the transition between the different spots. So let me turn it all the way down. And it kind of gives your image this glass look. And my big thing is we want to retain texture as much as possible. Turn it all the way up. See what happens. And I think for the beauty image, I will be able to show you guys a little better. Oh, you can see it right there. So you see down here at the chin, it picked up down here at the chin. See what happened when I turn it all the way up? It smoothens. Turn all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. So, with the frequency separation, you want, like I said, you want to just make the transition between your lights and darks, highlights and shadows, as they say, as smooth as possible. So I usually keep this one at about 3 to 5, depending on how harsh it is. And even as I'm looking at this, I'm going to turn the even dodge and burn down a little bit. I don't want her to look too fake at 65. And I'm also going to turn this down to 75. Boom. So now that we did that, you would do the same thing for the body. So I'm just going to match my even dodge and burn for the face with the body, which would be right here on the arms. So let me turn that up to the same amount, which is 65. And it's going to do the same thing for her arms. And then I'm going to turn the same amount up of frequency separation for the body. It's going to be 5, 100, and then 50. So everything can be in unison as well. So now that we did that, we retouched the skin. Now we move into the part where we polish the skin. So back in the day in Photoshop, you would have different actions to where you can make the lips pop, and you can make the lips pop. You make the makeup pop a little bit more, and whatever result you were trying to achieve, you could do that. But with this software, it's crazy that you can literally come and, let's say, apply this, and you see how her skin pops a little bit more. I had an action that helped photographers make the skin pop like this, and you see the glossiness, but I like to go more texture. I always want to see texture when I'm doing mine, and then I want to turn down the glossiness because I don't want her to pop too much. I just want her to pop just enough to where you can tell that the makeup is popping. Boom. And there are so many other things you can do in here, like the skin tone, facial reshape, teeth. You make the teeth pop. I had a retouching action in certified retouchers course where you can make the eyes pop. So you see if I turn this all the way up, you can see the difference in her eyes. Look, everything is already all white, so I don't believe it's going to make that big of a difference. But I'll just keep it up, pop just a little bit. And then you can make changes to makeup, like highlights. Let's see. Yeah, highlights. Like this is all the things, contour. Like she doesn't need any of these things, so it's gonna turn them off. But you can do this. And then another one which was important was the lips. So it says lip makeup. I'm gonna add some to her lips. So this is what happens if I turn it all the way up. The lips are popping. I'm gonna turn it down to about 70. And then let's do a zoom on the lips there. Look how this color grade is literally going crazy, y'all. Okay, then hair. So we wanna, as you guys can see, we wanna get rid of all these straight hairs. So they have a feature where you can hit straight hair removal and just turn it up until the straight hairs are gone how you like it. So let's see what happened. We just blasted up. And it took away straight hairs in a way that's good for me. Look at that. That's nice. Okay. And then you got hair shine, smooth hair. Typically, if I want to make the hair shine more, what I would do is I would mask just for the hair. And then I would add a bump in the highlights. But as you see here, it made the hair shine right there. So I'll come down to like 60 on this. All right, I'll come down on 60 with this right here. And boom. You can do hands, full body reshape. I don't need to do anything of that. Then the last part of polishing the image is, as you guys see, we got this in the shot, and then we got this in the shot. We don't want that in the shot. So you can come into here, this little icon right here, for background adjustments, and you could first clean the floor. So let's clean the floor up. I'm gonna turn on clean floor, and it's gonna auto detect a solid background or a clean backdrop. As you see, look how clean that backdrop is. I mean, we can see the differences. It's already white, so it's gonna be a little bit tougher to tell. But look how nice and strong cleaned up that background is. And then the last thing we can do is remove these distractions. So you come to distraction removal and you turn that up. It's gonna auto detect the distractions for you. And boom, distractions are gone. Before, after, before, after. Look at that. That's so nice. I see it even took this. I don't know what this like shadow is. It took that out. But look how good that looks now. We finished the image. And one more thing, as I'm looking at this, I see she has like wrinkles in her clothes. So the cool thing about this is, once again, when you back in Photoshop days, you used to have to, go get dodge and burn. You used to have to dodge and burn the wrinkles out. But now here you can come to this clothing and accessories adjustment, and they have this de wrinkle clothing option, and you turn this de wrinkle clothing option up, and what that's going to do is going to start de wrinkling her clothes. I'll start taking the wrinkles out. Let me just bump it all the way up for exaggeration. Boom, it's going to start taking some of the wrinkles out of her clothes. I mean, look, you got the pants. It didn't take all of them out. You know, like, depending on where this image is going, you would fine tune some of this and make it less even, like, even more dialed in. But for this purpose, this is good. Like, this works for me. This works for me 100%. So I will rock with this right here. And then now that will be it. As I'm looking at this, I'm debating between the light and darkness, the brightness of it. So I'm gonna come to the color adjustments. Let's change some colors up a little bit. I want to take the highlights down a little bit more. Let's see what happens if I just get rid of them. Not mad at the get rid of, but I like that kind of white blue out look. This is at 50. This is at 60. Totally get rid of them, but it's just getting too bright. And then as you see, my retouch went away. That's just when you are color grading, when you go to the color grading feature, I don't know, I guess this is how they had their software set up to where your retouch goes away and it only shows you the before and after of your edits of your color grading. But if you just hit this right here, you see what happens. Boom. So now with that being said, let me show y'all how cool this is. First, I can copy from this image. I'm gonna show you two ways. The second way is the way I prefer to do, but I like this style. I can apply this style on any image. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit Command C or Control V on my keyboard. It's gonna ask me if I want to save or copy all these settings. I'm gonna say save. And what I'm gonna do is let me show you these images first. See this one, this one, and this one. All of these are kind of shot in the same condition. I wouldn't apply it to this one because this is gonna be a beauty headshot, but we can test it and see. And I wouldn't apply it to this one because the lighting is different as well. If I was just retouching the skin and stuff, I would apply the same skin retouching things to it, but I'm not. But just for this demonstration purpose, I'm gonna show you guys the difference. See, you got the stuff in the camera and all that type of stuff. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and copy and paste this edit I just made onto all the other pictures. So I'm gonna click this first picture, hold down Shift, click this last picture, hit Command V on my keyboard or Control V on yours. You're gonna see it says Effect Sync to 5 images, ready to export. And I'm gonna let it dial in the effect while we are waiting, and then I'll come back once all of it is dialed in. But you can kind of see that it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, and loading. So we're going to go ahead and let it load, and I'll come back once it's all done. All right, so as all the images are loading, you guys can kind of see this is the first image we did. This is with the edits we just applied. Look at that. That looks good. Look at this one. That looks good. And since these all kind of shot in the same lighting condition, I can keep this how it is. Look at this one. That looks good. It looks really good. Look at this one with the edit on it. That's not bad. I used the gold reflector in this, and her skin is kind of goldish. So I'll probably turn that down. But look at that. This is not bad. And you kind of see that orange tint we kind of put in her hair, but I think that's how her hair is. So this is not, it's not bad. Like to be able to just copy and paste, it's not bad at all. And then same thing for this edit. This is not bad at all. So having this feature is like a game changer. Now let me point out some things for you guys that I'm gonna point out some things that you can tell are different. Well, first of all, these images are great. What I've noticed using AI, sometimes with the hair removal, let me zoom in. You can kind of see the ghost edit where they made the edit because the AI didn't really register it. It kind of looks like that. Now that one can pass for right now because people aren't gonna be zoomed in that tight. But let me show you. I just saw it on one, and I want to point it out to you guys. So see right here, it didn't really remove that. I would come in myself and remove this piece because it's giving that ghost edit effect. And to do that, I'm going to come over to this healing tool right here. Come over to that healing tool. I'm going to use the clone stamp tool. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm just going to sample using option from right here. Make my brush a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to copy, like, do all of that right here. because I don't want that showing. Like you can tell it has that ghost effect. They call it ghosting. That ghost effect. And I want to get rid of that ghost effect. You see the ghost effect kind of right here too. So I want to get rid of that ghosting effect. Boom. And as you can see, probably come in here. I'm pretty sure it's something that may not be right. So yeah, even though I copied and pasted, the image, even though I copy and paste the image, you can still, like, there's still some tweaks you have to make. Like, it's not just going to be a copy and then you're done. Like, it's going to be a copy and then you still need to go and check. And even right here, you see it did it as well. Didn't really take off all of it. I will come in and take that off. The same way I just did. I'll come in and take that off, clean that up as well. So I'm actually going to come in and clean that up right now. Coming in with the healing tool, hitting Command J, make my brush a little bit bigger. And then I'm just going to, I have to sample. So I'm holding Option. You'll probably hold Alternate on your keyboard. And then I'm just coming and brushing right there. And then I'm going to come and brush right here as well. Never here. I'm going to come brush and make my brush a little bit smaller. Taking effect. And I can keep that because that looks realistic. Looks realistic right there. All right, so back from Daddy Duty. I'm looking at this image, and what I want to come do is I want to kind of see what happens if I make her face not as gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the masking tool. I'm going to hit custom mask. I'm going to hit person and then add mask area. And I'm actually going to hit all skin, create a mask. Then I'm going to let, I guess, the stuff load for me. Let's see, did it load or what? Okay, let's try this again. Go back, create a mask. I see we have layers over here, and I don't really want to work with layers. I want to work on this image, the person. I want to edit that. I don't want it to be the entire person. Just want it to be her skin. And I want to update the mask. Cool. So now, since I don't want her skin as gold, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it down. And as you can see, what happens when I turn it down or when I make it cooler. This is technically making it cooler, because right now it looks like, I want it to look like this. I want it to be a little bit cooler. So I like it at 10. You have to let me finish that video. I like it at 10 right now. But let me apply the edit on there. And let's see how the edit looks while it loads. So I'm going to hit this. And I'm not mad at that. I think I actually do like the golden. Maybe the golden look was better. Let's bring back some of the warmness to it. And let's go there. And let's see what that does. Once the edit comes back, it's processing. You can see at the bottom left corner right here. Okay. I'm going to rock with that. I'm not mad at it at all. But I'm going to make a few tweaks. So number one, I am going to edit her body more because her top is dodged and burned, but her body isn't. So let me go back to scroll up and let's start turning up. Let's turn up the body blemishes. So we're going to get rid of all of those. That's now we see her neck and her arms and stuff. Let's get rid of the neck wrinkles. You see some neck wrinkles just slightly. Yep, some of the neck wrinkles. See what happens if we bump it all the way up. Then I kind of see some inconsistencies in her face, skin. So we're going to turn that even dodge and burn all the way up. so we can get that really consistent look with her skin. Then we're gonna do the same thing. I want to add more smoothness in between the highlights and the shadows. So I'm gonna put this frequency retouching up to 25 because I want that consistency between the highlights and the shadows as well. And then we need to repeat the same process for her body because you don't want to all the way dodge and burn face and not the same with the body. That would be crazy. Let me show you guys the before and after. That would be super crazy. But you can kind of see it there. Something I know I'm not liking is the highlights. And I know that comes from this right here. So I'm actually going to turn this down. You can kind of see it start going away. You can see it start going away. You can see it start going away. And I think from there, then that looks way, way, way better. So this image looks way better to me. I love how this image looks. I mean, even if you zoom in, look at the skin texture and everything. Like that's beautiful. So last thing I'll do, I'm gonna go down to lip makeup, and let's see what happens if I blow it up a little bit. Keep it at 70, 78. Why not? Brightness. Yeah, I'll keep it. Why not? Let's bump it to 15. It's a beauty image. You see a little bit more. And boom, we are good there with that image. All right. And then the last image. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste and save the preset for her full shot, her beauty shot, and also her mid shot, so you guys can have it as well. So I'll save that in like a group, and I'll give you all the one-click presets for free, so you can have it. Just put in your name, email address, and you can have the one-click presets from this YouTube video. It's no problem. Or actually, right now, hopefully, just DM me. DM me at JetsetYMC. Follow me. Give me a DM. This say one-click preset because right now I don't have a link for it. If you see the link at the bottom of this video, click that link. It'll say download the one-click presets below, or I'm probably calling the easy edit presets below. Yeah. And then for this one, it took out the carpet details. I wanted the carpet details, so I'm going to come to the background adjustment. I'm going to scroll down to where it say clean background, and then I'm going to remove the ground, turn the ground one all the way down. And I believe that should bring back the texture of the background. See, that's good. But even if it didn't, look at how good that looks. Like, that's still not bad. I mean, it even kind of retains some of the shadows a little bit, but I'm going to turn that all the way off because I want the texture of the cover in their shot. And then you kind of even see that right here, the texture is not there. So I'm going to show you guys a quick ninja hack real quick. So now I look at this, it's nothing really to clean up on the back of the backdrop. So let's see if you kind of zoom in, you see it did whatever right there. And then it also has this ghosting effect. So I'm actually going to turn off the clean backdrop thing filter in general because I believe it's nothing to clean on the back, and we saw what it did when we had to clean on the right. And once we did that, we see that it's all gone. I don't know what this little thing here is, but that's minor because once I zoom out, it's going to be blurred out of the shot. So only other tweak I will make to this image is that she looking a little bit on the darker side. So I'm going to come to masking. I'm going to click create a mask. I'm going to hit her face, create mask. And I'm just going to make her a little bit brighter. So I think with all contrast and stuff on the image, Let's see how that looks. Oh my gosh. Look at the before, the original, and the one now. Huge difference. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to the colors, and I'm going to yellow this one out a little bit. Let's make it a little warmer. I think that's nice. Let's see what happens when the edit goes on it. I mean, that looks phenomenal to me. Check the hair for the ghosting. Did a good job on the hair. Did a good job on retouching the skin and everything. So this honestly looks good to me. Like, I honestly rock with this color like preset. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come to this, hit save preset. I'm gonna name this one full CG plus retouching. Full CG plus retouching. You're gonna hit OK. That's gonna be the group this is gonna be in. And we're gonna name this one, name of my model. And this is her full body shots. Denver. Sonya. And I'm gonna make this one full. Baby stuff and make this video for y'all, and it's not really working right now. So we're gonna try the old Pat method. Sonya. Then we're gonna do this is her full body. And then I'll make everything just like that. So that's the first one. And then we're gonna save this one as a preset. We'll say this one as beauty. We're gonna say this one as close up. And then we're gonna save this one as kind of like a 3/4 type shot. And now I believe if I come to my presets and hit these three dots, I can share this with you guys. Please paste to share with your teammate. Wait, so it's a share token. I wonder where you guys would share this at. Maybe you would come in and share. I don't know. Okay, got it. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out for you guys. But this is how you do it. And then I just would export these. So a picture is worth 1 credit. So I like to select all of them, hitting shift command C and select all of them, coming to where I want to save them at. Which I'm going to save them under here, YouTube run, photos, put them in here, make sure they're under my client, my model's name. Make sure everything is scaled to 100, 100, 100, no sharpening, none of that. And hit export. Denver. Okay. And that is a full raw BTS edit with me, you guys. I mean, that's really how we make it happen. Like any video, and I plan to continue to bring you guys more and more stuff. I also do plan to come out with the School of Light, where it's going to be a community that helps photographers finally get the confidence to charge, execute that clean studio light look, keep their skills sharp. So we plan to bring you guys more exclusive videos like this, monthly meetups, monthly lighting master classes, monthly one page sheets with like how to light and stuff like that. Recipe guides, people call our mine probably would be playbooks as well. I want to keep bringing this stuff to you guys so you guys can have this. Okay? So that is it. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh, make sure you guys come to Lightwork Live too. Here in Detroit, my in-person studio lighting masterclass where I reveal to you how to execute this clean studio lighting look that you can charge, that clients pay $200 or more for as well. So please, I'll see you there. Peace.